You are about to see something absolutely unbelievable. President Biden just now said, I am not allowed to go out anymore. That's right. The leader of the free world, our president, our current sitting president, just said, I'm not allowed to go out anymore. He said this to the press. This is absolutely wild. Before we watch that, real quick, other things we're going to talk about are RFK Jr. recently sitting down with Fox News, talking about how the Democratic Party was, trying to keep him off the ballot in plenty of states, and now they're actively trying to keep him on the ballot in battleground states because they know that he hurts Trump more. So that is crazy. We'll get into that. Other things are the recent Polymarket trend predictions for this election. Right now, we see President Trump ahead of Harris, which is kind of the first time we've seen this in a while recently. Other things are Karine Jean-Pierre talking about Kamala Harris's accent and completely disregarding it and just completely walking over the question. And I have some strong opinions on this, and we'll get into it. But okay, now we'll go back to President Biden. Thank you so much for being here. If you're a fan, if you consume this content on a regular basis, please consider liking and subscribing. That really means a lot to me. And now let's get into it. President Biden, ladies and gentlemen.
President, how was it to be back on the campaign trail today?
It was good.
How do you feel about Pennsylvania?
Except I'm not able to go out in the crowds anymore. The Secret Service doesn't let me.
No, why not?
Well, because it says too dangerous. No one gets to go out. Really not? You know, serious.
How do you feel about Pennsylvania right now?
I feel real good about Pennsylvania. I think we're going to win Pennsylvania.
Wow. Well, there you have it. President Biden said that he is not allowed to go out anymore, but obviously because of Secret Service request, right? Apparently it's too dangerous. Now, is that fair? I absolutely think so. If I was president and the Secret Service told me, hey, it's actually a little too dangerous for you to go out, we want to kind of keep you a little hidden. If that's what actually happened, like you bet everything that I'm listening to them and I'm just staying somewhere safe. Absolutely. So that is so interesting. We have seen President Biden take a lot of vacations. I think it's fascinating that he's been able to go, to public beaches, right? Where a bunch of strangers are waving at him and they're all having a good time, just, a couple feet from the water. But yeah, that's not too dangerous. So, but apparently going to, going to rallies and campaigning with Kamala Harris is. So I get it. I think it's easier to secure a beach than secure, tens of thousands of people as they go in to see Kamala Harris. I think it's fair. You let me know what you think about that. But that's kind of where I'm at. So today, RFK Jr. was out with Fox News talking about how the DNC is forcing him to stay on the ballot in key states. Check this out.
With regard to the election that is now 9 weeks away, I believe, you've taken yourself off the ballot since you became a supporter of former President Trump. You're off the ballot in Georgia, which you weren't on, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona, but you're still on the ballot in Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. It's possible when you look at the polls that you still being on those ballots could have a meaningful impact on the outcome of this election. What do you say about that?
I mean, we're trying to get off the ballots in all the states. And I'm getting a bad echo while I'm talking to you.
Sorry. We'll try to get rid of that. Sorry about that.
But we're trying to get off the ballot in all the states where I might be a spoiler and cause harm to President Trump. The irony right now is that the DNC, which has been trying to keep me off the ballot, is now suing to keep me on the ballot.
Yes, that is ironic.
In many of the states that were.
Do you see that as manipulative on their part in terms of what they want the outcome to be?
I can't hear you because of the echo.
I'm sorry about that.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I'm just. Do you think that's manipulative on the part of these states to keep you on the ballot?
Well, I think the DNC is doing something that is essentially and fundamentally undemocratic. And when I grew up in a Democratic Party that was the party of Robert Kennedy, of John Kennedy, that was trying to make sure that every American had the right to vote for whoever they wanted to vote for. There's been 1 million Americans who've signed petitions asking to put me on the ballot. We've complied with every signature requirement. And the Democratic Party doesn't seem to have the kind of confidence in its nominees to actually go out and amplify their voices, and instead is using lawfare to keep opposing candidates like me and Jill Stein and
Sir, I'm
and
going
the
to
other
have to jump in,
candidates
and
off
I
the
do
ballot.
apologize for the audio problem and for the late start with you. And
That is crazy. That is crazy. And someone just asked me recently in one of my comments if I think that it's going to be possible that he actually kind of exits out of the race completely, because as you guys know, he's still on the ballot in, you know, the majority of the states, right? He's still on the ballot in He's only not on the ballot in battleground states, or at least that's what his pursuit is in. So someone asked me recently, they were like, do you think it's possible that he exits the race completely? Because whenever you exit the race completely, instead of just suspending your campaign, when you exit completely, you actually force the states to remove his name from the ballot. I know that's kind of unpopular here. You let me know what you think about that, but that is a conversation that people have been having lately. And another conversation that I kind of started having on Twitter just today, I just posted this, or, you know, on X, right? It's still hard to say, but I posted this on X saying, here's something I can say with a fair amount of confidence. If RFK Jr. ran for president 10, 20 years ago, there's no question he would have been an unstoppable force. I went on to say the relevancy of his family's name, his voice full of strength and volume, his successful environmental career, all this paired with his deep conviction for health and justice, understanding of wide-ranging issues, and timeless leadership, he would have won. He absolutely would have won. This is just a thought. Like, you know, I've spent the last couple months just, you know, really diving deep, you know, with Kennedy and with you guys, just going deep and far in this world. And I could just say this with almost some certainty that if he would have ran like a couple decades ago, I think we'd be living in an incredibly different political climate right now. But anyway, speaking of political climates, Polymarket recently shared this tweet. They sent this out this morning, September 3rd, almost 8 a.m., that Trump's lead grew to 4% overnight. Okay, now what happened, right? How does this happen? Where does the jump go? Also, if you're not familiar with Polymarket, it's just this platform where people kind of they make their predictions, okay, on elections, and you can kind of see where people are across states, and it's really fascinating. And this one person, ALX, he shared this as a kind of an analysis of what happened. He says it was the accent, wasn't it? And again, we just talked about this moment yesterday.
You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for.
And that video just did like absolute numbers. This whole scene, Kamala Harris is getting she's under almost attack for this. And again, it's kind of sad. I wish people were attacking, you know, more of her policies, more of her perspectives, more of where she just stands on certain key issues. But, you know, at the end of the day, people love to glance at things like this, and it looks like things like this move the needle. Okay. And I just think that's crazy. And also the White House recently talked about this accent. And again, some people don't think it's real, which is, you know, like, you can have your own perspective here. You really can. I'm not going to tell you what to think, but I love the side-by-side comparisons because I think it's helpful for, you know, informing people. So the New York Post just shared this, and check it out.
Person in our nation has benefited from that work. You know, everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. So, friends.
All right. Okay. Like, I think the difference is it's very visible, right? This is the top is her in Pennsylvania, right? September 2nd. And the bottom is the same day in Michigan. And they're completely different accents, right? The New York Post had this caption that wrote, Kamala Harris sounds like two different people at her rallies. The fact that this is the same day is absolutely wild. And the White House responded to this kinda, and you'll see what I mean by like at the end of this video. Check this out.
Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a Southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is.
She was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that
same
you think?
Line?
Okay, Peter.
That she used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a Southern drawl.
I mean, do you hear the question that? I mean, do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question? They care. You know what they care about? They care about the economy. They care about lowering costs. They care about healthcare. That's what Americans care about.
So
that's what they want to hear.
This is something.
They care about. Your colleague just asked me about democracy.
All right. Now, I just want to, like I said, I have some perspectives here. All right. First of all, she's right. There are more important things to talk about. Okay. I wish we were having more meaningful and conversations of actual substance, but I think the same argument can be made here. Like, because a lot of people vote based on like their value metrics, right? A lot of people don't vote for what they think they're going to do. They almost vote for who they believe that person is. And whenever you see something like a flip-flop in the accents or in the way that they communicate, it almost just feels incredibly misleading, disingenuous, right? And that's a value metric, right? And a lot of people feel uncomfortable with that. And Karine saying that like there are better things to talk about. Why aren't you talking about this? Like you're just pivoting. So to say that this conversation doesn't even have any substance and that it lacks merit and it's not even worth having, to me is absolutely ridiculous. That is completely unfair, because here's the thing. If American people are having this question, if they're having that concern, then I believe it's your responsibility to actually speak to that concern, not ignore that concern. So while you are right that there are other conversations that are probably more important, at the end of the day, people are talking about this. And it's your responsibility to meet people where they are. This is like broadcasting 101. You talk about the things that people are talking about. It's not the other way around. You don't talk about things that you believe people should be talking about. You talk about the things that people are talking about. So, and she's not even finished, so I'll let her continue here.
Basically, we talked about, went back and forth about democracy and freedom. That's what they care about. I'm not even going to entertain some question about the president. It's just hearing it sounds so ridiculous.
Well, but hearing it is.
The question I'm talking about, the questions is just insane.
Is that?
I agree. It is absolutely insane. But again, when you watch this video, it's almost undeniable. Like, look at this.
So, friends, 64 days until the most election of our lives. Let's just get through the next 64 days. And you all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will.
Again, is this inherently bad? I think it's normal whenever people are around other people to speak a little differently, but it's the gaslighting for me. It's the saying that it's not like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not even going to entertain this. Like, that is such a cop-out, and I'm not for it. I don't like it. Anyways, another person commented on this forecast. They said, hey, Dana Bash, you got any more of them interviews? Because a lot of people are under the assumption that Harris's decline has a lot to do with this recent interview that she had. Obviously, it was the first interview that she's, essentially performed ever since she announced her candidacy. But nonetheless, I think we should see her more. Right, I'm excited to see her more. I'm excited that the first debate is in a week now. That is absolutely wild. We're 7 days away from the September 10th debate, and that's kind of exciting. Are you looking forward to it? You let me know. Right, I'm planning on doing a live stream that day, so I think that's going to be really exciting. Anyways, let me know what you think about all this. Let me know what you think about President Biden saying I'm not allowed to go out anymore. Let me know what you think about RFK Jr. being forced to stay on a bunch of these ballots, and how you see that turning out. Do you think he's going to eventually exit the race, or do you think he's just going to fight these out in court? And also, let me know what you think about this, that Trump's lead grew to 4% overnight. That's kind of wild. Do you think he's going to maintain it? How do you think this is going to change after the debate, or after more of Kamala Harris's interviews that are supposedly in the works? Let me know. This is exciting stuff. So let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I will see you all next time. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot, and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.